Chapter 11. More of the Witch Doll. Miss Harmon ruefully accepted the doll and retreated with Penny to the taxicab. There she gave way to put her pent-up feelings. "It's just as the message warned," she murmured. "The witch doll is the thing of evil, and it cannot be given away." "Oh, I don't take Miss Farmer seriously," Penny replied, chagrined because she had failed to prove that the doll came from the marble shop. "She's peculiar, to say the least. I imagine the witch doll was sent to you by Nellie, the former owner of the place, though why she would do such a thing I can't guess." "I have a feeling that bad luck will follow me everywhere I go," Miss Harmon insisted. "Felice was right. I never should have kept the doll." The dancer, who was so overwrought that Penny tried to think of something reassuring to say. She shared her father's belief that it was ridiculous to attribute supernatural powers to a witch doll, yet she felt a sincere sympathy for Miss Harmon. "If you really are determined to rid yourself of that silly witch doll, it can be done easily," she said, leaning back against the cushion. "I wish I might never see it again." The taxicab was rolling over a high-arching steel bridge. Penny opened the window of the car. "Here's the end of your witch doll," she laughed, and hurled the box over the railing of the bridge. "A grave in the river." Miss Harmon settled back against the car cushion, her face relaxing. "I feel better already," she declared. "That's because the spell is broken," Penny said lightly. "Do you suppose I really am rid of that horrible doll?" Penny gave her a queer look. "Yes, I'm sure you are, Miss Harmon." The taxi motored on towards the theater. Recalling that she had a story to file at the newspaper office, Penny requested that she be dropped off at the Star Building. Miss Harmon gave her hand a firm pressure as she said goodbye. Penny entered her father's private office. Mr. Parker stood by the window gazing down on the street, but he had turned quickly as his daughter helped herself to his desk and typewriter. "Did you get the story, Penny?" he inquired. "Oh, I learned a little." Penny deftly rolled a clean sheet of paper into the typewriter. Miss Harmon seemed rather hazy over the facts. "I still think Felice may know something about the missing necklace." "Well, write up what you have, Penny. And by the way, the reporter's room is just outside." "Not for this little reporter," Penny chuckled. "I like your nice padded chair, Dad. Let me know if you need it." Mr. Parker threw up his hands in a gesture of pretended despair. He secretly considered himself pathetically indulgent to his daughter, but there existed between them a rare camaraderie, and Penny's flippant remarks were never meant to be disrespectful. While the newspaper owner absented himself from the room to consult with the city editor, the girl set to work on her story. She had finished it before Mr. Parker returned. Not bad at all," her father commented, reading the article. "But this witch doll paragraph will have to come out." "I figured you'd blue pencil it," Penny sighed. "That's why I put it at the end. It's the most interesting part of all. No witch dolls for the Star." "Someday you may change your mind about that," Penny declared, little guising the truth of her own words. Mr. Parker made a few corrections on the story and handed the sheet back to his daughter, told her to take it out to the editorial room. She went past the slot at the big circular desk where the Telegraph editor was writing headlines and spreading the story on the sharp spindle by the city editor's elbow. "So, you've joined the staff, Miss Parker?" he inquired, glancing up. "Well, not exactly," replied Penny. She was a little uneasy in Mr. DeWitt's presence, but for that matter, so was everyone in the office. "I just dashed off this masterpiece in a spare moment." The city editor did not smile. He never smiled, but the corners of his mouth twitched ever so lightly as the girl retreated. Feeling very well satisfied with her morning's work, Penny took herself home. Mrs. Weems had finished cleaning the house from cellar to attic and was just removing a pie from the oven. "Penny, would you mind if I have luncheon early today?" she inquired. "Why, no, Mrs. Weems. You don't need to bother at all, so far as I'm concerned. I can get something for myself." "Oh, I shall prepare a lunch the same as always," the housekeeper insisted. "But I'd like to get away from the house early. This is my day off, and I have an appointment." Miss Weems spoke in such a self-conscious manner that Penny shot her a curious glance. "You're not by any chance paying the great Osander another visit?" she inquired. "Well, yes, I am," Mrs. Weems admitted, flushing. "I didn't intend to speak of it because I knew you'd laugh. At first, I believed, as you do, that Mr. Osander was a faker. And now you've changed your mind?" "Yes, each time I go there, he makes new and amazing revelations. The man is really marvelous, Penny." "Does he have many customers?" "More persons are coming to him every day. Jeannie's father, for one," Penny remarked. "Who do you mean, Penny?" "Oh, a working man who lives down on River Road. Louise tells me he spends all of his money with Osander while his family is in a dire poverty." "Osander surely can't know of that situation," Mrs. Weems declared. "I'm certain he is a good, kind man. However, I must admit some of the persons who come to his place have the appearance of being unable to pay a fee." "How much does Osander charge?" $2 for an afternoon seance, 3 in the evening." "The departed spirits must have a union," Penny chuckled. "Higher wages for night work." "Penny, you are simply impossible," Miss Weems protested. "I don't begrudge Osander his fees. Perhaps I shouldn't criticize Mr. Osander without seeing him in action. I imagine it would be interesting to attend a seance." "Oh, it is." Penny's eyebrows twisted into a frown as she mentally subtracted $2 from her weekly allowance. If she visited the great Osander, it meant that she would be in financial difficulties until next collection day. Nevertheless, she was sorely tempted. "I might go along with you, Mrs. Weems," she hinted. "That is, if you invite me." "Why, you know, I'd be only too glad to take you, Penny, if you think your father wouldn't object." "Oh, he would approve, because this visit will be in the interest of science." Mrs. Weems regarded Penny a trifle suspiciously. "I don't know what you mean by that remark," she said. "I hope you don't plan upon going there to create any disturbances. I shouldn't care to take you in that case." "I promise you I'll be the model of a good deportment, Mrs. Weems. My intentions are strictly honorable." "I trust so, Penny, but I don't like that twinkle in your eye. Sometimes your sense of humor rather gets the better of you." "I'll keep it under lock and key this time," Penny promised again. "I assure you I'll be as still as a little mouse and not even wiggle those offensive eyes of mine." "Oh, all right," laughed Mrs. Weems. "We'll have luncheon in half an hour and then hurry over to Osandra's." The meal was quickly served, and Penny helped with the dishes. "Now I'll run upstairs and slip into my disguise," she told Mrs. Weems. "Your what?" demanded the astonished housekeeper. "My disguise," repeated Penny. "Osander might recognize me. I mean, if he should ever see me again." "Such nonsense," protested Mrs. Weems. Declaring that it would only take her a minute, Penny ran upstairs. Soon she was back wearing a long gray coat and a large green hat, which partially hid her face. Mrs. Weems immediately recognized an outfit which had been discarded 2 years before. "I hope you don't mind," said Penny. "No, you're welcome to the clothes," replied the housekeeper, "but I can't for the life of me see why you wear them. They make you look years older." She gathered up her purse and gloves and prepared to lock the doors. Just at that moment the telephone rang. "Oh, dear me," sighed Mrs. Weems. "Someone always calls when one is in a hurry. I'll answer it." Penny ran to the telephone desk and took up the receiver. I wish to speak with Miss Parker, said an agitated voice. Speaking. This is Miss Harmon. I'm trembling, upset. A dreadful thing has happened. Why, what is it? That witch doll, it came back. But I threw it into the river, Penny protested. How could... When I stepped into my dressing room only a moment ago, there it was on my table, the same as before. Oh, the warning has come true. I'm under the doll's evil spell. Miss Harmon's voice rose to an excited pitch. There must be some mistake, Penny said soothingly. I'll come over and talk with you as soon as I can. She did not finish, for the click of the receiver told her that the hysterical young woman had left the telephone. Do, 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 do.